All right, good evening everybody. Welcome to DuePoint. It's been a fairly quiet week after Easter weekend, so be it, but I'm very glad that you've made time to come see me this evening. Good evening to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. That's when everyone turns around and looks at who's he talking to now. I'm talking to the camera. You see the camera there above you? That's the camera. We are live streaming to the entire country. So this is a live broadcast. You are my live audience. So let us know where you are, how many guests you have with you. We're always interested in knowing that. Stacy is manning the live chat, so you're welcome to speak to her. So welcome to our head office. We are about to go through what we call our introductory business presentation. It is a business proposition where I hope to tell you as much as possible about this opportunity. If you have any questions, reserve those until after the presentation, and you can direct those to the person that's hosting or invited you this evening. All right, so let's begin. As you can see, we're a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. So Constantia is a registered insurance company in South Africa. We've been around for a very long time, nearly 70 years. 70 years. We were founded in 1952. I'll touch on a little bit more about Constantia towards the end of the presentation. But DuePoint as a division is fairly new. We are just over 3 years old. We were founded in February 2016 when a number of factors and aspirations of the founders came together. So to give you a little bit of context, I'm going to quickly go over those because it'll give you a bit of understanding as to perhaps the necessity of our business and what we aim to achieve with DuePoint. So number one, economic and risk factors. And this is primarily from your point of view. So you are here this evening because I would imagine you want to create income for yourself, additional income, another stream of income for yourselves. This is mostly to mitigate a lot of risk that we find ourselves in, especially today in the economy that we're faced with. If employment was the answer to all our issues, our financial issues, you wouldn't be here this evening. You would get a 10% increase in your salary every year. You wouldn't know what this word retrenchment meant. You would actually look forward to retirement one day. Unfortunately, all of that is a pipe dream, right? And we've come to the realization that we have to start making a plan for ourselves, and our business, we believe, is an answer to that. Social entrepreneurship, this is the opportunity that we extend to members of the public. So the opportunity is one of entrepreneurship. You get to take hold of a business for yourself. Our aspiration in having formed this business was that we could create a positive impact in the community and the country that we work within. And we've done that by adapting our business so that we can rely on members of the public to help build better channels of distribution for ourselves. So typically with the businesses that we've been involved in the past, that some of the founders in this business have been CEOs and CEOs of the past, they have always employed traditional forms of marketing and advertising. So in other words, their marketing budget was spent on typical forms of marketing and advertising. Advertising with the big media outlets, billboard companies, TV ads, radio ads, internet ads, all of that. And that's where the marketing budget went. Instead, with our business, what we're doing is we're taking that marketing budget and giving it or making it available to members of the public, to you, if you can help us build channels of distribution in this business. Right? So hopefully that sums it up fairly simply for you. So your mandate, your responsibility, if you so wish to become part of DuePoint, is to help us build these channels of distribution. You do it by simply going out and connecting other people to DuePoint. The same way you are connected this evening, we just want you to go out and tell people about DuePoint. That, as simple as that. Right? If you are successful in building a channel of distribution for yourself here at DuePoint, there are a number of benefits in store for you through this business. And we believe that the benefits that DuePoint has sets us apart from any other business opportunity in the country. So we're going to go through those quickly. Primarily, you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. This is obvious, right? This is the primary reason why you're here. But the nature of the income that we produce is very important because it sets us, again, apart from many other business opportunities and businesses and employment. Because what we try to mitigate with this business is the risk that I discussed earlier, retrenchment, unemployment, retirement, inflation, all these issues. And we mitigate that through recurring income because we don't pay people for their activity at DuePoint. We pay you for the channel of distribution that you create. Right? It's a very important distinction. In employment, we are tied to a time constraint. Your contract is one that is based in time. Your contract says you must start work at this time and you end work at that time. It might make provision for lunch, which is typically 30 minutes. It makes provision for tea time in the morning and tea time in the afternoon and these type of things. But it's very explicit in how much time you have to spend at work. And if you work that every single day for the month, you get a salary for that. And if anything threatens that time, well, then your income is threatened. So if you become sick, how many sick days is in your contract? It's limited, right? It's not, oh, well, you get sick, come back to work when you feel like it, we'll pay you a salary until you're better. No, it's very limited. And so your health can be a threat to your income. Retrenchment is very real, right? 95% of South Africans can't afford to retire. And so you have all these risks that are time-constrained risks. At DuePoint, because we don't pay you for activity, you're not constrained by those risks. And we'll get more into that when I discuss the ability to make an asset or create an asset here at DuePoint. Power duplication, this is just your opportunity to go out and build a team around you that can help you build a channel of distribution faster and more effectively, exponentially faster, right? And so your income can grow exponentially greater. Our business is extremely flexible in the fact that we've spent a lot of money on technology. Here at DuePoint, you have the ability to build a channel of distribution from your mobile phone using our mobile app. It means you can do this business anywhere in the country at any time of the day. There's no startup capital in our business. There's no starter fees. There's no starter kits that you have to buy. There's no boxes of product you're going home with tonight. We've specifically designed this business to have a very low barrier to entry. Why? Because we want to have social impact. And to have social impact, we have to make this business as accessible as possible. And at the same time, I don't want to be standing up here saying we've got the most wonderful business opportunity in the country, but it's going to cost you 5,000 Rand to join. Right? That excludes many people. And it also puts fear into your heart. Now you're thinking, oh, do I really want to join this business? I want you to at least be able to try this business without the fear of any risk being involved. At the same time, we don't have qualifications or experience requirements. Literally anyone can join this business over the age of 18. You get to build an asset. Now, for me, that's probably the most important benefit out of this whole slide. Why? Because we start to see and we very much understand the problems with employment currently in our economy, right? Very few people have the opportunity to build assets that create income for them. And at DuePoint, that's exactly what you do. Your channel of distribution that you build at DuePoint is an asset that you have legal tender over. You can sell your channel of distribution. It will never retire you. It can't retrench you. It doesn't disappear when you die. How many people pass actual wealth onto the next generation when they pass? Like 1% of the population, right? You get to create legacy in this business, and you get to create an asset. But the asset, to create the asset, requires sacrifice. You have to sacrifice the time to create the asset in the first place. But I'm hoping that people will be happy to sacrifice time in building an asset. Why? Well, we know why. Because spending 8 hours a day for 45 years working for somebody else when 95% of the population can't afford to retire, does that not tell you that employment is only there to pay your bills? That's it. South Africans don't have to show, they've got nothing to show for the 45 years that they work. My father has not been able to retire. My mother-in-law has not been able to retire. We are forced to carry on looking for work once we retire. And so I'm hoping people will see the value in building an asset that pays out income instead of employment or commission or sales-based income, right? That's tied to activity or tied to this time constraint. And then finally, there's no selling involved in our business, so we've actually excluded you explicitly from even doing anything related to our products. That's my job. I will tell people about our products here at DuePoint, right? Our financial products. Your job is only to go out and connect people, to convince someone to trust you enough to spend 35 minutes watching this presentation. And then I will tell them about the business, the benefits, the remuneration package, the rewards program, the products that we have, and how to get started. Right? Your only job is to connect those people to me or to Brendan when he's up here. Right? And so we try and make your lives as simple as possible in creating these channels of distribution for yourself. At the same time, because we've got financial products, we don't have stock and distribution issues. Everything today is taken care of by technology in the cloud. You'll not have to bat an eyelid with regards to the distribution of our products, right? We take care of all of that for you. But your success is certainly predicated on your ability to build a channel of distribution. Like I keep saying, channels of distribution. So it begins with you. You become a wealth engineer and a product owner here at DuePoint. Now you are mandated to go speak to other people. So you might go speak to 10 people this week. Out of the 10, 5 decide, yes, I like this business. We all need money, right? The necessity exists. And so in this example, you've got 5 people that have joined your channel, the first 5 people in your channel, and this is where the power of duplication takes place. This is the power of leverage that exists in our business, because those 5 people will go out and start speaking to other people. Not all of them. You can see that one was lazy, still sitting on the couch today. But the other 4 went out and spoke to people. They want to build their channels. They also want what you aspire to creating income for yourself. And so your channel gets to grow from the leverage that exists. And after time, this is what your channel distribution could look like. And this can happen quickly. This is not a big channel by any means at DuePoint, right? And you're potentially earning income off of every single product owner that you see on the slide, not once off, every single month, because it's recurring income. You get to share in a royalty of the book value that we create as an insurance company. It is a great deal, right? If you know anything about entrepreneurship, a royalty deal is the best because you don't have the risk of the overheads involved in getting involved in business. Right, so this is what a channel of distribution looks like. How do we pay our wealth engineers? So we pay you through what we call our returns program. The returns program is based on a 27 Rand 50 fee that we pay you for every product in your channel, but that's actually dependent on where the product lies in relation to you. So if we look at the way your channel grew again, there's the first 5 people that you introduced. We call that your first point. So anyone that you connect to your business will always fall in your first point. That is where you have responsibility over, your first point only. Right, and on your first point, we actually pay you double the 27 Rand 50. So you're earning 55 Rand for every product on the first point. If you had 10 people, you're earning 550 Rand every single month. And because it's recurring income, you can say, well, that's about 6,000 Rand a year that I've just generated for myself, right? When those people go out, they start adding other people. That product or those people lie on your second point. And again, according to the table, you can see you earn 55 Rand on your second point. So a little bit of maths. You've got 100 people on your first and second point. You've generated about 60,000 Rand annually in recurring income for yourself. Right? And then as your channel grows, that product gets further away from you. The further away it gets, you see that multiplier starts to drop steadily. By point 8, you're still being paid 4% of the 27 Rand 50, and we don't limit you there. That's why there's a little plus sign next to the 8, because there's no limitation to the size of your channel. There's no limitation to how much money you can earn. We'll carry on paying 4% from point 8 in theory to infinity. There is literally no limitation on how much money you can earn at DuePoint. Right? So this is the mechanics of how we pay out in our returns program. It's fairly straightforward, I think. People still want to understand, well, how much money can I make in this business? How quickly can I make it? And what activity, how much sacrifice, how much time is required to get to any point in this business? So what we did when we launched the business, because obviously we didn't have any track record, we had a lot of data with previous businesses, and we've got similar businesses in Europe. So we've got a lot of data that we can build on. And we built this projection, which is a projection over the next 5 years of typically what you can expect. And we've been able to now track data for the last 3 years, and this is a very accurate representation. The activity that's required is only that you connect 2 people a month. That's almost lazy, right? Moderate. That's very moderate, to connect 2 people a month onto your first point. But if you can do that after 6 months, with duplication, obviously, and we take into consideration all the negative aspects of our business. People don't pay, people don't build, right? Majority of which don't. But nonetheless, you can get to 2,500 Rand after 6 months. Now, this serves as a great example of something else that we want to achieve in our business. Our business, this business, is about wealth creation. It's about empowering people financially. And that doesn't happen by just putting money into people's pockets. It doesn't, right? You can look at lottery winners. That's a great example of people who have had a massive windfall. So they've got a lot of money into their pockets. On average, lottery winners, and we're talking people winning from millions to billions, on average, those people will lose everything within 36 months. Doesn't matter how big that number is, right? And so one of the things that we have to achieve at DuePoint is a paradigm shift. We've got to get people thinking about wealth creation, thinking about how to leverage money. One of the biggest stepping stones to wealth creation is getting rid of debt. We hope, this is only something that we can hope for, is that people will use the income that they generate out of DuePoint to get rid of their debt. We know the country's indebted, right? Majority of South Africans, again, over 90% of South Africans have got some form of debt. Get rid of the debt as quickly as possible, right? In this example, we demonstrate the power of 2,500 rand, in which case you can turn that 2,500 rand, if you didn't spend it, if you put it into your debt, in this case a 1 million rand bond, you will save yourself 900,000 rand in interest that you would have paid to the bank over a 20-year period. It allows you to pay a 20-year bond off in nearly half the time by only putting an extra 20% into your bond every single month. This example remains true for every debt instrument that we have in our lives, whether it's credit cards, overdrafts, hire purchase, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. The mistake we make, because we're all consumers, is that we will just spend that money. Right? We will. 99% of us will spend that money. But that's the lesson. After 12 months, you'll be close to about 9,000 rand a month. After 2 years, close to 30,000 rand a month. After 3 years, you get close to about 50,000 rand a month. After 4 years, you're close to 70,000 rand a month. And after 60 months in this business, connecting two people every single month onto your first point, you'll be close to about 85,000 rand, which is equivalent of 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Now, I always see people looking at me suspiciously when I throw these big numbers out. It just sounds so easy, right? It sounds so easy. Right? This is academic. It is academic. What we don't take into consideration is your personal circumstances and all the excuses you make up why you can't do this business. Because I see it, right? We've got thousands of people joining this business every single month. I see them. They come and have meetings with me. They cry and complain, and they want help with this and they want help with that. And I see majority of the people quitting after 3 months, after they got so excited about what this business represented for them. And so I understand this, right? And so it's very important for us to bring real people up onto stage to show people that indeed it is possible and that you're at liberty to decide what you want out of this business. No one is going to tell you what you get out of this business. You only do it to yourself. And so you can choose the 85,000 rand a month if you wish. It's your choice, no one else's choice. So we've got wealth engineers we bring up on stage every single month. We call it a special evening. We do monthly. It's called Tattle Tuesday, where we really get to hear real life experience of wealth engineers in this business. So we've got Peter. Peter's with us this evening. Peter Clitty joined 3 years ago, so he was in the business from day one. We've paid him to date nearly 72,000 rand over that period. He's got 16 people on his first point. Right? His first point is translated into 231 people in his channel. That's great leverage, right? His channel size is sitting at 11 points. And can I tell you, there's even more value sitting in that business for Peter, right? Because his channel is growing whether he likes it or not, right? That's the beauty of this business. You have taken advantage of power duplication in this business. Then we've got Francina. Francina is also with us. Did you guys plan to come together tonight? No? That's why they're up on stage, because they are always involved, right? So Francina's been in the business for 1 year and 7 months. Her channel value per month now has exceeded 6,000 rand a month. That's wonderful. That's equivalent of having about 1.2 million rand in a bank account. If you had that cash sitting in your current account, that's the interest that you could earn per month. Who do you know has 1.2 million rand sitting in their bank accounts? Right? That's the equivalent. That's the power of recurring income. And you can see Francina's got 19 people on her first point. Her channel's only 4 points in size. So with time, like 3 years, like Peter's channel's had, that will get bigger. And that number will get bigger. Right? She's got 133 people in her channel. This is a demonstration, a wonderful demonstration of leverage in the business that you get to take advantage of. And as I said, we've got thousands of people joining this business every single month, and everybody is different. Some of these people have even left. You would ask yourself, why would anyone earning 8,000 rand a month or 10,000 rand a month suddenly leave? Puzzling, isn't it? That's human nature. That's human nature. It is puzzling, and that's why I say, you know, you can look at everybody, but inside yourself you have to decide what you're going to do with this business, whether you can keep yourself accountable, where you don't look at this business and go, it's a nice hobby, or it's something I do when I feel like it. Right? This is a business that potentially will save people's lives The amount of stress that we go through with regards to finances is one of the worst stresses that you have to undergo. I remember when we had droughts in South Africa a few years ago, right? I think 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, farmers experienced a lot of droughts. The suicide rate amongst farmers spiked during that time, right? Financial stress is real. This business is about getting rid of that stress, mitigating, having a plan B, having some hope for yourself when the economy takes its toll upon us. On top of the rewards returns program, we've got a rewards program. So the rewards program is wonderful because the rewards that you get aren't typically cash always, but it's more visceral stuff that you can connect to, and it's a great prospecting tool. So what happens is as your channel grows to certain sizes, we will reward you when it gets to these certain milestones. So the bigger your channel gets, the more you rank up in the program, and the more you rank up, there are wonderful rewards waiting for you in the rewards program. First notable one is rank 5. You get a little fancy USB drive. It's got all our video collateral on there, and the good thing about the drive is that it plugs into anything. Any cell phone, any tablet, computers, laptops, TVs, so you can show people DuePoint very easily, right? It's not device dependent. Rank 7, we get business cards manufactured in your name. They cost us an absolute fortune to get these business cards made. I was very excited when I made them the first time, but now it's a lot of money to dish out for business cards. They cost us 17,000 Rand to get one set manufactured, right? So it's an absolute fortune. But why do we do it? Because, and I come from a background of advertising and branding and marketing, I understand the power of first impressions. Right? When you sit down at a meeting, there is a lot going on before you've said a word. People are looking at the way you dress. They look at your hair. They look at your facial hair. They look at your shoes. They look at your business cards. When you put a 17,000 Rand business card down on the table, your credibility goes up. Your trust in the other person goes up, right? And you're able to do a transaction more successfully. At rank 9, this is one everyone aspires to, rightly so, because at rank 9 we take you and your family to our international conference where we get to fly you and your family business class there and back. It's 7 days away to a 5-star luxury resort. And when I say luxury, it's luxury on another level, right? I may consider myself fairly privileged. I went overseas for the first time when I was 21. I thought that was fairly privileged. I got bumped onto business class, just because they had no more seats in economy class, right? And when I flew business class for the first time as a 21-year-old from England back to South Africa, I vowed to myself, I'll never fly economy class again. Never! I'm 6'3". I'm not made for economy class, right? Then I found out how much a business class ticket cost. And I said, okay, maybe I'll fly economy for a little bit longer. So take a look. We've documented our rank 9 trips for the last 2 years. We've already block booked our business class tickets for the upcoming one coming up in December. We've already decided on the resort. It's a new resort, and arguably it's probably better than the first 2 resorts. So I want you to look at this and just imagine yourself there with your family. And at this stage, rank 9, you've got 1,000 products in your qualified channel. You're earning about 20,000 Rand a month. It's a good place to be. Doesn't that look good? It's awesome. It's awesome. The last resort we went to, which was a heritage resort called Little Fair, they had a little ice cream parlor next to the pool. Open the whole day. It was like going into sweets from heaven, right? It's like a sweet shop. Ice cream parlor, and they made Belgian waffles, and they made pancakes with chocolate sauce, with a Nutella chocolate sauce on, and you could go in there as often as you want, have as many sweets and chocolates as you want. There was no limit. If you walked in there, there was another wealth engineer in there with kids every single time. Every single time, right? So it's a wonderful opportunity. The record to getting to rank 9 is this gentleman over here, 5 months. Opened up his laptop one morning at the Spur, got sent a link from Patrick, and 5 months later, he had 1,000 people in his qualified channel earning 20,000 Rand a month and with us at the next Mauritius trip. And unfortunately, he got toothache and he had to go get a tooth removed that holiday, right? And we took care of that. No expense to him. 2 ranks later, rank 11, we spend 250,000 Rand buying you a brand new car. Most importantly, a car with no debit order at the end of the month. Why? Because we pay for it cash in your name. And there's no hoops to jump through once you get the car. It's yours. There's no DuePoint branding on the car. It is your car, right? Our hope is that you are closer to becoming a wealthy individual. When you're going overseas with your family every single year, no expense to you when you're driving a car around that has no debit order at the end of the month and you're earning between 20 and 30,000 Rand a month. Are you wealthy yet? Are you closer to being wealthy? I hope so, right? People have done this in 2 years at DuePoint. 2 years is a short time. A short time. So that's our rewards program. That goes up to rank 28. But our business, the backbone of our business is built on the products that we've designed, specifically for DuePoint Wealth Engineers, because we believe that we've designed better and more innovative products that serve our community better. Our products are there to protect your wealth. When we talk about wealth creation in this business, at the same time we have to protect the wealth, right? If not for the benefit of us, at least for the benefit of the people that we leave behind, right? Because that's why we're doing it, isn't it? Not only for ourselves. So I want you to look at our products through that lens. Our first product is called Access Wealth. Access Wealth is an investment and an insurance product rolled into one. It's going to cost you only 324 Rand a month. 100 Rand gets invested into a tax-free investment fund. You've got full access to that money. You can draw it out at any time. There's no notice or delay period on that account, or at least with the withdrawal of that account. And then the insurance aspect is 120,000 Rands with a personal accident death cover. So if you're killed in any form of accident, we'll pay out 120,000 Rand to your beneficiaries. No medicals. We don't look at your medical history. We don't want to know what your blood sugar is. It is a simple transaction, right? Then we've got Wealth Guard. Wealth Guard is only insurance, so it's 249 Rand a month only. It gives you 1 million Rands with a personal accident death cover. The beauty of our products, the way we've designed them, is to make them as accessible to everybody without discrimination. Often insurance products will profile your risk, right? That's simply what insurance companies done. The way we've underwritten our products is that whether you are between the ages of 18 and 70, the price is the same for everybody. We don't look at your health. We don't look at your age. If you're 70 years old, it's still 249. If you've got a heart condition, it's still 249. Then we've got our funeral cover product called Family Wealth. Family Wealth starts at 299 Rand a month. It gives you and your family 20,000 Rands worth of funeral cover. It covers up to 5 family members. You as the principal member also get 10,000 Rands worth of debt protection. So not only do we cover those funeral costs, but we also pay any liability that you might have upon death up to the value of 10,000 Rand. You can increase this cover to 30,000 Rand as well as up to 10 family members. And let me tell you, I constantly check. Competitors are coming out with funeral cover products left, right, and center. No one comes close to this product. Go do your own research. This is probably the best funeral cover product in the country by far, and it is our fastest growing and most popular product currently. And then finally, we've got Wealth Points. Wealth Points is actually not a financial product, but it's got financial benefit, because what this product aims to do is lower your monthly expenditure. Think about the money you spend every single month, your cost of living, your monthly expenses. For 299 Rand a month, you get to engage with all these partners, these companies that we've partnered with. And what we've done is we've negotiated discounts and services with these companies that are for our Wealth Points members. And so the aim is to lower your cost on data, on airtime, on groceries, on traveling, on hotels, going to the spa, getting nails done, getting hair done, right? Because you can engage with these partners. We've got ShopRite Checkers, Celsea, Always On, the Entertainer. We've got car manufacturers, right? The benefit that you get a loan from getting a discount on a car will pay this product for 10 years. I bought recently a car from Eagle Ford. They gave me 100,000 Rand off. 100,000 Rand off. I brag to people constantly about that fact. Right? We've got Sorbet, we've got hairdressers, Oxygenate, right? And this list is always growing, and the subscription fee doesn't increase. We just keep adding as many partners as we can to benefit our Wealth Points members. So those are the 4 products, accessible to everyone, very affordable, right? And always innovating. We're always looking for products to benefit our wealth engineers. We've got some incentive for you. So those people that are getting started as wealth engineers, or you plan to get started as a wealth engineer, be very aware of the incentives that we are running, because I hope that you're going to take advantage of the incentives, because there's even more benefit to be had out of this business. So our first incentive is a big one called the 365 Challenge. We challenge you to connect 365 people in the next 365 days. We laugh at 2 people a month. We laugh at 2 people a month. I want to see someone who can do 1 person a day on average for the next year. And if you can do that, DuePoint will essentially make you a millionaire in 1 year. Because if you can do that, you'll get to about rank 13 or 14 in our business. You'll be earning between 40 and 50,000 Rand a month. You will have the car, you'll have the holiday, you'll have the business cards, you'll have the USB drive. And if you do it in that time frame, if you can do it in 365 days, we will give you an extra, on top of all that benefit, an extra 365,000 Rand cash check. That's where you could be in exactly 1 year's time. In 12 months' time, 52 weeks, 365 days from today, there's going to be someone who's done this. And it could be 2 people, it could be 5 people, it could be 10 people. You've got to decide if you can do it. You've got to speak to 5 people, 10 people a day to do this. So that's the question. All right? Can you do that? April Wealth Quest. So this is an incentive just for April. It's called the Young Guns April Wealth Quest. We challenge you to connect 2 people under the age of 30 into your business. It's very hard to do that. Young people, they think they know everything. They don't want to listen to us old people. So it's a challenge, right? But I get very excited when I see young people get involved in our business. And we've got some wonderful young people. We've got 18-year-olds in this business that are working hard in this business. Imagine having 40 years in a business like this, what you could do, right? These people could be wealthy before they even get to their 30s if they stay engaged in a business like this. So the challenge is find 2 people under the age of 30, get them qualified. So you've got to help them find 3 people each. And if you can get everyone paid in the month of April, so joined and paid in the month of April, we will give you an extra 5,000 Rand in cash on top of your return that you create for yourself in April. If you don't want the 5,000 Rand, you're very welcome to take the Apple iPhone. And the Apple iPhone is important because you've got to run your app effectively, right? So that's April's Wealth Quest. A reminder, we've got a Port Elizabeth encounter coming up on the 11th of May. I'm going down to PE, the Windy City, and I hope I'm going to be addressing a room of about 200 people or more. I can only do that if you go connect people to the PE encounter. So my instruction to everybody is go make a list of everyone you know in PE. If you don't know anyone in PE, you think about someone who you think knows someone in PE. And you make a list, whether it's 5 people or 10 people or 100 people, and just invite them. You just have to WhatsApp them, you can Facebook them, you can phone them and say, this is happening, this is the business, check out the video. Do you want to go to the business encounter? You can make money. And then I will help you connect people onto your first point in the Eastern Cape. The goal of which is that you have a national channel. I don't want people to have local channels. You must have a national channel. This business is built on that ability, that flexibility to have a business all over the country, generating income from all over the country, right? Gone are the days where you have to be in people's faces and don't have to do it that way anymore. You can take advantage of the technology. But please, keep in mind, 11 of May, start making the list now if you want to create money. Because I'm going to go do it for you. I'm going to spend 3-4 hours doing a business seminar to people that you invite to the Eastern Cape. This weekend, so today's Thursday evening, Saturday morning, we have a development seminar called XP Rewards Program 2.0. It is a massive upgrade to our rewards program. So the rewards program has got the Mauritius trips, got all those rewards in them, but we have done some manipulating to that rewards program to make it easier to earn XP and also easier to prospect. So we're going to be revealing all of that on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. It is very exciting for me because I've been working on this for about a year, right? And we've finally got it into our app. So the app update will probably be available tomorrow, right? So if you're a wealth engineer, go onto the Play Store, go onto the App Store, look for DuePoint again. You'll see it'll say update. Click on that update button so you have the latest version tomorrow. Tell everyone in your channel too. Don't keep the news to yourself. So we're going to be going through that update to our XP Rewards program on Saturday morning at 11. Please come join me at head office, or you can tune in live. The dev seminar will be available on YouTube immediately from the point that we start doing the development seminar. So I hope as many people join me as possible. The decision, this is a business proposition after all, and a proposition needs an answer. It needs a reaction. What I want to know often from people is not what you want. Everybody wants, right? That's in your head. You can think of 10 things in 30 seconds about what you want. What I want to know, what you should be answering for yourself, is how on earth am I going to fit DuePoint into my life? Every day. Can you fit DuePoint into your life every day? Can you make a plan to speak to 5 people, 1 person a day? Is there space for that in your life? Because if there isn't, then you're wasting your time. You have to make provision for this business, not as a hobby, not as a New Year's resolution, not when you feel like doing it, out of necessity. And you can't argue with me that there isn't necessity. There is necessity, right? This business is about changing people's lives. And so I hope you're able to make that decision. A little bit of background quickly on our business. Why do we talk about our background? For credibility. If you're going to become a wealth engineer, you become a proponent of this business. You become a brand ambassador to this business. And when you go out and speak to people about this business called DuePoint, they must look in your eye and go, this person loves this business. They have belief in the business, right? If you don't have any of that, I promise you, you're not going to be successful. Because people are just going, oh, they're just trying to get something out of me. You must become a believer in this business. And so what I want you to do is go do a background check on us. The same way Phil Jones did. He took about 6 months investigating us from every single angle before he started doing any work. Right? Why? Because you have to have trust in something. Trust doesn't happen just like that. Yes, I want you to take a small step of faith in joining us, but go do a background check. Go to DuePoint's website. Go to Constantia's website. You can go to external websites and see. There are lots of reviews on us. Go to Hello Peter. Go choose what you want to do. Go to the FSCA website. Go look at all the Constantia licenses that we claim to have, that we actually do have, right? You can go look at our FSP licenses. They're all outside in the foyer. They're on our website. There's the FSP number that we operate under. Know that we're audited constantly. We are regulated by the FSCA, right? We are listed on the Joburg Stock Exchange under a group called Conduit Capital, and we're a business that's been in business for 70 years. I hope that you can see that you can be proud to be part of this business. Right? That's what I want to achieve. Why? Because we want to develop long-term relationships, not short-term, not 1 year, 3 months, not 5 years, long-term, 10 years, 20 years. Because if you do that, our families will be going on holiday together, right? And that's what we want to achieve in this business, long-term, sustainable impact. And with that, I thank you for your time, and my wish, as always, in everybody that I address and come across, is that you can have a prosperous year this year. How many South Africans will be able to claim that at the end of the year? Prosperity, that word. I don't think many South Africans will be using it to describe 2019. But I believe at DuePoint that you can have it. If you believe it, you can make it happen. So that is my wish for you. Thank you.